Hola Familia. Sorry about the delay. We live and learn, and this is all new to me, especially with the streaming. But thank you all for your patience and yeah, just thank you for everything that you all provide for me. So yeah, let's just dive in and start. So, hola, welcome to the Comadreando Group Session. Today, I will be just bringing in spirit to see what it is that we need to talk about, what's going on with the energy. And so, if it's your first time seeing me, hola, my name is Cristal, and I'm an intuitive spiritual life coach. And my mission is just to help you be on the path that you're supposed to be on with that helps be in alignment with the best version of yourself. And the way I do that is by providing you with the tools that help me on a daily basis. And I bring in spirit to see what it is that can help you spiritually on this journey of life. So, yeah, before we dive in, I like to do a breathing exercise just to get us going. So, whenever you're all ready, well, for many of you, if it's your first time seeing me, I like to do the 3, 3, and 3. So, that means you inhale for 3 seconds, hold for 3 seconds, and release for 3 seconds. But I want you to do more than just breathe. I want you to imagine. So, when you breathe in, I want you to imagine that you're inhaling love, positivity, fire and butterflies is what I like to call it. And when you're holding, I want you to imagine that all that energy is traveling from the top of your head down to the bottom of your feet. And then when you exhale, I want you to imagine that all that gunk, all that nastiness, anything that's holding you down, holding you back is just leaving your body. And so we'll do that 3 times. And yeah, after that, we'll dive in. Let's see any other announcements. Oh, also quick reminder, this is a donation-based workshop or Comadreando Group Session. So if you love to donate, the link is below in the descriptions. And yeah, and may anything that you donate be multiplied 10 times for you. And yes, and then we'll dive in. So, and also, this is live streaming, but remember, all messages are timeless. So, whenever you come across this video, this message is for you whenever you need to hear it. If you do want to catch the live sessions for the Q&A, that's afterwards. And the only way to participate in the Q&A is if you register prior. So you have a Zoom link. So I can open that up for any questions that you may have, and I can answer them with spirit. Okay, so yeah, let's breathe it in. Let's get grounded, and then we'll dive in. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and take a deep breath in. Hold and release. Another deep breath in. Hold and release. Last one, make it count. Deep breath in. Hold and release. Okay, so let's see what's going on. All right, so some of the energy that I am seeing is that there's new opportunities that are coming. However, for many of these opportunities that are coming, I'm really seeing that there's a fear. There is there's this lack of belief of you obtaining it. Um, yeah, it's almost like I'm really feeling this not believing in ourselves, in the capabilities that we have, not believing that we are worthy of them, not believing that we are deserving of them. And so this is a lot of what I'm sensing, along with the fact that a lot of this is because there's anxiety. Okay. So it's so interesting. I do see both the depression and the fear along with the anxiety of the future. The unknown is really scary. Lack of control is really scary. And so I do see a lot of this happening for a lot of the collective energy here of it's almost like this I'm feeling this sense of for many there's this sense of feeling stuck you you don't know how to move forward, and you also don't want to move back because going backwards is not the way to go. And yet going forward is really scary because there's just so much unknown. And so that's been causing a lot of that confusion, especially because like I shared, there are things happening, there are opportunities, there are changes that are happening. And a lot of this, I mean, what spirit really wants you to focus on is your confidence. You are confident, you are capable of moving forward, you are this divine human being that has their shit together. And as much as you may not believe that, like you really do, especially because spirit's right now telling me, like, again, look how far you've come. Look at the things you've had to overcome. Look at the things you've done to get to where you're at today. Yes, it might not be. It actually not might be like spirit saying, yes, it was not an easy road. Yes, it was not all sunshine and smiles. Yet spirit is really saying, like, but look how far you've come. Don't give up yet. Don't give up now. Um, and so that's really a lot of like the message I'm hearing with this. So let's ask spirit what it is, like what's going on with this anxiety, this depression of what's holding the collective back. Let's ask about, like, what is it that we need to talk about today, so that way I can help you on whatever blockage you have in front of you. Because yeah, if we're stuck in the past and we're stuck in the future, it's hard to be in the present moment. And the present moment that's the only thing that's real. And so let's ask spirit, what is it that's blocking us? What's going on? What is it that we need to talk about today? Okay. So we got the sun, we got the fool with the five of wands underneath the deck. It's so interesting that these are two very positive cards that are coming up as a blockage. So clearly, like that stagnant feeling that many are feeling is keeping us definitely from taking more leaps of faith and trusting the process and trusting that the universe will always provide. And so I'm really feeling that today that's really going to be the conversation about how to take more leaps of faith, how to trust the process more, how to let go and let God, how to surrender, how to just say, okay, spirit, your will, not mine. And I know that a lot of that is always a lot easier said than done. And the reason why it's a lot easier said than done is because with the five of wands underneath the deck, many of you have gone through so much trials and tribulations. Many of you have gone through so much. um Life has not been fair. Life has not been easy. You've had your bullies, you've had your people who have hurt you, you've had society hurt you, you've had pressures from all I'm really sensing like it's just this is so much bigger than you. There's many, especially because it's a collective reading, there's just so much happening here. But I do sense a lot of the generational trauma. I do see a lot of the systemic issues that we face. I do see a lot of even our gender roles that we pick up on through life. Even that has been like that's affected us to really step into our power and to really believe and trust ourselves, because that's exactly what I'm really hearing, is that for many of you, you've been put in a box. Life has put you in a box. Society has put you in a box. People have put you in a box. Family have put you in a box. And so the box is comfort. The box is what you know. And for someone then to come and say, oh, you got to take more leaps of faith, you got to just trust the process more. Even to hear that is so scary, because it's like, I don't know how. I can't, because I've never have. And so this is why for many of you this will continue to be a block, because you don't have control. Like, and right now, with all of these new opportunities that have been happening, with this burst of energy that's been coming up, with these um, shifts of energy that have been happening, I really do see that there's been more opportunities that the universe, spirit, source, God, higher power, whatever that it is that you believe in, keeps presenting you with these opportunities, and yet no one's moving forward because it's so scary. And like I said, it's because it's like we don't move forward because we're stuck in the past of, well, this happened before, I don't want that to happen again. And many of you, it's stuck in the future of, I just need to know if it's worth it. If I take this leap of faith, will it be worth it? If I do this, will it be worth it? Um, and so that is why many of us are stuck in this place where we are stuck in this feeling of, I don't know how to move forward. I don't know how to trust. I just heard that. I don't know how to trust God. I don't know how to trust a higher power. I don't know how to trust the journey. I don't know how to trust spirit. I just, there's this, I don't know how. And so spirit's really saying, yes, I hear you. I know you don't know how, and that's okay to not know how. You don't have to have the answers. Faith, faith is like breathing, is what spirit's telling me to tell you. You just do. Like, it's almost like you don't think about breathing. You just know that you're going to breathe. You don't think about how things work, that you just know that they work. And that's faith. You don't have to have this formula. It doesn't have to make sense. It just is. And that's really scary, because for many of you, especially with the Five of Wands underneath the deck, what's, like, you know, what that's really telling me, it's those traumas that have happened to you, those things in your past that have hurt you, those situations, those people, those things, those traumas left you scars. And so that's how we learn. And for many of you, I mean, it's our egos are really what prevent us from moving forward. Our ego is really what keeps us from taking those leaps of faith and really trusting the process and really believing in our journey. Um, and so if we don't work past those traumas, if we don't work past healing our inner child, our inner teenager, healing our I'm also hearing, like, for many of you, traumas are not just from our past, like from childhood. Like, there's traumas from your 20s, your 30s, your 40s. Like, really, actually, it's okay. I don't know who this is for, but spirit is saying, like, even yesterday, something pretty traumatic happened to some of you yesterday. And again, it's not, trauma does not mean violence, does not mean it's like this catastrophe, but it could be something so simple of you trying something new and someone just making making a comment that gets you discomfort, and then you're just like, oh, I can't do this again. And so then you just don't do it again. That could be traumatic, because that is leaving you again, that is showing your ego that part of, you see, this is why we don't try new things, because then someone's going to make fun of us, or someone's going to say something. So that right there is traumatizing. Now, I know the word trauma sounds bigger than that, but I really want all of you to start seeing that when things hurt us, that creates a scar in us, and that creates that inability to just continue trusting the process, and having faith, and really believing that we are on the journey we're supposed to be on. And so I really do see that for many of us, this lack of belief, this lack of faith, this lack of just trusting the process and knowing that the universe is going to provide regardless is really what's preventing many of us from really stepping into our power, is really preventing us from really just going with the flow. It's almost like that surrender. Um, and yeah, surrender. Like it's like you have to you in order for us to take leaps of faith, we have to surrender. And surrendering is a really hard thing, especially when in the past it's hurt to do such a thing. I'm also hearing that for many of us, not having a control or not having things in order or having things set in place creates that discomfort, because in the past, when we didn't have that, we would get hurt or we would end up getting in trouble, or things just ended up backfiring pretty badly. And so, because of those past experiences, it's really hard for us to say, well, I'm going to take more leaps of faith. So I hear it. I hear it. I see it. I feel it. I know. I actually very much know these feelings of not trusting the process, because taking leaps of faith and trusting the process is absolutely it's not for the faint of heart. It really is challenging. Um, what spirit really wants me to tell you though, it's worth it. It's worth it. You just sometimes you have to really surrender. Um, I'm also hearing right now, and it's so funny because I just had this conversation not too long ago with someone else. When we pray or when we manifest or when we put it out to the universe, whatever it is however you manifest or create your goals or confirmations or whatever it is, spirit always answers your prayers. Always. Your prayers are always answered. The thing is that it's one of three answers. And it's not always the answer you want. And so that's something that you also have to be aware, very well aware of. But spirit does answer it one of three ways. Yes, here you have it. Not right now. Just be patient. It's coming. Or no, because I have something better. And and the no really hurts a lot of people, because I'm hearing that when our prayers get answered with a no, we internalize it like it's because we're not deserving enough, or because we did something wrong, or because yeah, I just keep hearing I'm not deserving enough, or I'm not good enough for this. And spirit saying like, no, that's not it. It's because there's something better. You just have to let go of when. So again, when we manifest, when we pray, when we ask spirit, God for guidance, we have to let go of our expectations of what we want and trust that higher power knows what it is that we want. And so for many of you, I'm also hearing this is a great opportunity to start deepening your relationship with your higher power, deepening your relationship, and really learn how to connect in a deeper level with spirit, because your spirit team is always there. You know, your ancestors, whatever it is that you feel connected with something, an energy source that's bigger than you. And so, perfect opportunity to really start looking into what what keeps you connected with spirit. That will really help. And spirit's also saying, just again, you always have the answer. You just have to let go of the answer you want and be open to the answer that higher power is going to provide for you. And I know, again, I know this is a lot easier said than done, but it is feasible. It really is. So let's ask Spirit about any tools that can help, because again, taking leaps of faith, trusting the process, of course, that's a lot easier said than done. Um, and so let's ask Spirit about what tools can you lean on, what tools can you learn to really help you on this journey. Okay, so we got the teacher, Temperance, with the Page of Cups underneath the deck. So I'm gonna focus on temperance first because temperance is such a beautiful card in regards to balance, in regards to just finding this way of pouring out, but not over pouring and not holding yourself back also. It's like you have to find a balance of things. So and how is this a tool when it comes to leaps of faith? Try little baby steps when it comes to taking more leaps of faith, when it comes to trusting the process more. By no means, like, if I just heard, like, for many of you, there's been this huge opportunity that's come to your life and it's really scary for you. And you're just like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And Spirit's like, why don't you just take little baby steps and see, instead of just taking this leap of faith, do little things, and find that balance. Like, don't don't go jumping off the deep end. Like, it's okay to dip your feet in a little bit. It's okay to try it out. It's okay. Like, nothing is permanent. And I think that's another thing I'm hearing right now, that many of you need to know. It's not permanent. Like, you are still the co-creator of your life. You still get to say, yes, this is for me. No, this is not for me. And just trust the process of it. The thing is that with temperance, again, what I'm hearing is, you gotta, I see wings. You gotta spread your wings and you gotta try it. Because if you don't try, you'll never know. And Spirit's saying, and that not knowing is actually really going to be one of your most, oh, what's the word to describe it? Like, not your regret, but it feels like that. Like, the not knowing if it would have worked out, or if it was a good, like, that not knowing, that's gonna eat you alive. That's what's gonna prevent you from really stepping into believing in yourself, because then you're always going to be questioning in the back of your mind of the what ifs. That's what it is. The what ifs. Like, what if I would have done this? What if I would have done that? What if I would have tried? And temperance is really talking about just balance. Pour out just enough. Don't over pour. Um, you have plenty of opportunities behind you. If I just heard, if you miss your train, there's another one coming. Just trust and believe, because your spirit team, your spirit guides, your ancestors, your higher power is always continuously guiding you in the direction you need to go. The thing is, you are the one who keeps stopping yourself. um I just heard this too, like, some of you are stuck in um unhealthy relationships. It could be with a partner, it could be with family, just however this resonates for you. And the thing is that you've had opportunities to end and to leave and to walk away, or for things not to just to go the other way, and yet you don't, because that fear of alone, being lonely, that fear of not knowing how it's going to look like without this person, without this relationship, without this situation in your life, keeps us there. And so Spirit is saying, I keep trying to guide you. I keep trying to push you. I keep trying to communicate with you, and yet you are being stubborn. And so temperance is really talking about finding that balance of just try little leaps, try little things. When if you feel that you need to try something new and yet you keep preventing yourself from it, dip your feet in it. You don't have to jump off the deep end. You can try a little bit at a time. And also remember, it's not permanent. Nothing is permanent. And then the second card that came out with, which is the teacher, this is really telling me about you also get to make it your own. Being a co-creator does not necessarily, like, it's this is so interesting, because taking leaps of faith is about surrendering. However, Spirit really wants you to know, like, but you also do have a say. It's not like you don't. It's not like when spirit is saying surrender your life to me or surrender your journey to me, it's not saying like surrender and just say I'm not gonna, I'm just okay, fine. I'm gonna go off the deep end and blow everything out of the water. Spirit is saying you get to do your research, you get to do your work, and you get to have your input. And no, again, just because it's a no doesn't mean that it's a permanent, like a hard no. It's no because there's something better. So that just means just keep going and keep trying. If you want to try something new, try it. And if it doesn't work, excuse me, it's not because you failed, it's not because you did anything wrong, it's because it's not for you. That's the only way you'll learn, is by trying. And the teacher really talks about just being in that energy of doing the research, doing the work, learning, expanding, and growing pains. I just heard that. So for many of you, there's all, this is also the reminder of when things don't work out, especially, okay, so I'm hearing this, like when you take a leap of faith and it doesn't work out, it's not because it didn't work out in that moment. You had to learn something. So start looking back and looking at the times in your life that you did take a leap of faith and it didn't work out. Because again, remember those, that's what earlier happened, those scars that have left you. Spirit really wants you to take a look at, but what did you learn? What did you gain when you took that leap of faith? What came out of it? What were the results? Yes, it wasn't what you wanted, but what did you get out of it? Because the more you start to see that, again, you start to see that always life has always happened for you, not to you. We just have to let go of the pain and the hurt that happens when things don't work out the way we wanted them to work out. Because when things don't work out the way we want them to work out, it does hurt. It's shitty. I'm not gonna lie, it hurts. I right now, spirits encourage me to share my own story of when I got a divorce. Like, never in a million years did I think me getting a divorce was what I wanted. Like, I'm not going to say that. When I first got married, I never said, oh, I'm going to get a divorce in a few years. Like, yay, because that's what I want. Getting married was taking a leap of faith. I was just trusting the process, and I was in love with this man, and we were just going to live our lives happily ever after. It didn't happen that way. So when things started going sideways, it hurt. And I had to sit with that and I had to grow from that, because even though my marriage did not work out, I gained something from that marriage. I gained so much. I learned more about myself. I learned more about the partner I want. And I gained two amazing, beautiful kids out of that. And so, and so what spirit really wants you to also look at is those leaps of faith that you've done in your past, or those things that you tried, or those things that you're like, yes, you were excited for, and then it didn't work out and you came out hurt. And then from that, it left you that bitter taste in your mouth. And you're just like, never again am I going to do this. Spirit saying, okay, but what did you learn? Like, did you gain something from it? And if you didn't, this is a perfect invitation, the teacher, to learn and to look and to see, but there was something there. And that's why the page of cups is also underneath the deck, which is the home of expression. It's that reminder of be studious. Be studious with your own life. Spirit really wants you to okay, so this is what I'm hearing for many of you, to sit down and look at your life's journey and look at what you've gained from those moments of pain, what you've gained from those moments of anguish. For I'm really hearing, like, for many of you, like there's been deep pains that really hurt. And so spirit really wants you to take a look and have an open heart and an open mind. And with the home of expression, it's and feel whatever comes up. Because the thing is, if we're not feeling, we're not dealing. And spirit is saying, like, for many of you, you've been dealing without feeling. I'm like, spirit, can we not talk in rhymes, please? Because this is what I mean by feel then deal instead of deal then feel. No. When something upsets you, someone angers you, someone makes you sad, whatever it is, like a situation, you have to feel those feelings first. Because the thing is that many of you, when shit hits the fan or when something has been rough, you've dealt right away. You're just like, I got to deal with this. I got to fix it. I got to deal. But you've never sat to feel it. What spirit really wants you to do is to start feeling, then you can deal. If someone hurts you, don't deal with that yet. Feel that. Feel the hurt. Feel the pain. Feel the sadness, and then you can deal with it. Because for many, when we deal before we start feeling, we are reacting with our ego. And and that can cause a lot of harm because what I'm hearing is, especially with the temperance and teacher, is when we are dealing with life without feeling, it's almost like we go into this survivor mode, flight or flight. It's like we just react. And for many of us, our reactions tend to be aggressive and tend to be a little mean and tend to be um, on the fight more than well, there's four responses. There's the flight, the freeze, the fawn, and the fight. Yeah, flight, fight, freeze, and fawn. And and so I do see that the aggression, because when we get hurt, instead of feeling, we're just dealing, and that's aggression. That's, you're angry and you're upset with them and you want them to hurt and you want revenge is what I'm hearing. And spirit's like, no, like, feel it, honor your feelings, honor your pain, honor your hurt, because the more you do that, then you can deal with it, and then you can move forward. But then at that point, once you started feeling, then you also realize, oh, like, I needed this to happen. I needed this pain to make it to this part. Because without this pain, we wouldn't be where we're at here. And spirit really is saying, like, once you start to see that, then you start to see that taking leaps of faith is going to get easier. Trusting the process is going to get easier. You just have to start seeing the blessings. It's so interesting. Yeah. Spirit is saying, I want you to see the blessings around you, because you've always had those blessings. You've always had things happen for you, not to you. And in the midst of the pain, it doesn't feel like that, but spirit is really saying, but look, you did gain so much from that. So be studious, be curious, have a curious mind, ask yourself why. Especially for many of you who are struggling with taking leaps of faith, ask yourself why. Why is this hard? Why? Okay, I just heard the best question to ask yourself. Why am I having a hard time trusting my higher power, my God, my spirit, my universe, creator? Again, whatever it is that you believe in. Why are you having a hard time trusting? Because if you had trust, you'd take that leap of faith, but you're not taking that leap of faith because there's no trust. And so it's asking yourself, be with a curious mind. You're not going to have the answer right away. This is supposed to be ongoing. This is supposed to be a conversation that you continuously have with your higher self and with your spirit team of why am I having a hard time not trusting myself? And that's where we start to work through that blockage. We have to learn why it's hard for us to not trust ourselves or trust our journey, trust our path, trust higher power. And then from there, things will start to fall into place. So have a curious mind. Ask yourself these tough questions. You're not going to know the answers right away, and that's okay. But com- consistent every day, keep showing up. So now I'm gonna ask spirit for, I like to call this the chisme. So this is any words of encouragement, any words of advice, anything that you need to hear. I'm going to see what Spirit is saying, and then yeah, and then after that, I'll close this out with a little meditation to help all of you bring this into your subconscious. So, what's the chisme, Spirit? What is the chisme? What does the collective need to hear? The familia. Okay, we got it. We got a big message. We got the world, the Three of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, with the Four of Cups underneath the deck. I know you've had a lot of pain in your life. I know that there's so much sorrow. There's been so much disappointment. There's been so much pain. There's been backstabbing. There's been people who have come and ripped your heart out and stomped on it. I know. I know that life has not been easy. I know that life has not been fair. I know. I will never deny that. What Spirit really wants you to know is that throughout all of it, it's been a sandwich between the world and the Ten of Pentacles, which is you. I know it's a lot easier for it's easier for me to say this and for many of you to hear this, but believe me, through all of this, through the pain, through the sorrow, through the heartache, Spirit never left your side. You this is part of your journey. This has been part of your path. Those pains, those trials, those tribulations, like that's all been part of your journey. It's all part of the path. It's part of this completion of life and these cycles that we go through, and that's how we learn. The only way we can learn is by making mistakes and then learning from that. The thing is that if you keep catching yourself repeating patterns, repeating patterns, Spirit wants you to say, when are you going to sit and learn and say, oh, this is a pattern I'm repeating. I need to fix this. I need to learn from this mistake, because that's the only way we're going to learn, is that if we actually sit and learn from them. Mistakes are meant to happen so we can learn from them. When things did not work out for you in your past, it was because you needed to learn something. It was because you weren't ready for that yet. It was because whatever it is. Again, Spirit really wants to is encouraging me to share my story of my divorce. So I don't know if someone here needs to hear this in regards to relationships not working out, or you're going through a divorce, or you're going through something. Yes, it hurt. Yes, I was devastated. I was just like, oh my God, like I wanted to be married for the rest of my life and have this, happily ever after kind of feeling. Like I genuinely did. And I remember feeling this horrible pain. And yet at the end, I gained so much from that pain, because that was that pain was really what pivoted me and shot me to the place of me discovering myself, me finding out what it was that I wanted and who I wanted to be and how I wanted to love and how I wanted to receive love. He was a great man. He's amazing. He just wasn't for me. And I've accepted that now. And it's not because he was bad, I was bad, he was good, I was good. It had nothing to do with that. Everyone comes into our life for a reason and for a season. And he had to come into my life for that season to teach me something. And I learned. And I had to learn the hard way, because that's how many of us we learn the hard way. And Spirit is saying, I just want you to learn and know that that's how you become a better person. When you take that pain and that hurt, you become a better person, because that's where the Ten of Pentacles comes up. That's when you step into your power. That is when you say, oh, I gained confidence from this pain. Because best believe I'm not going to repeat the same things. I'm not going to repeat the same mistakes. I'm not going to repeat the same um, things that I messed up in or whatever. Like you're just not going to do that again because you learned. But spirit really wants you to learn and gain the knowledge taken from that pain. Because once you do that, then you start to see, oh, by taking leaps of faith, that's the only way I'm going to learn. The only way you're going to learn is by taking that leap of faith. Spirit just told me to share the example of riding a bike. That's like taking a leap of faith is riding a bike. You're you're going to fall if you're learning to ride a bike. If any of you remember for children, if you were if for those of you who know how to ride a bike, when you were a child, you had to learn how to ride a bike. You fell. You fell. But many of you got right back up and kept going because you wanted to ride that bike. That's exactly the same thing when it comes to leaps of faith. You're going to take a leap of faith, and yes, you might fall. Yes, it might hurt. And yet you got to get right back up and keep going and take another leap and try something new. Trust the process, surrender, let higher power guide you through all of this. Because with the Four of Cups underneath the deck, for many of you, you get stuck in that reevaluation. You get stuck in waiting for the I'm hearing waiting for the right opportunity to come. I'm hearing like for many of you, you're just waiting for for higher power. Okay, this is like the image I'm getting. Many of you are waiting for higher power to just show up. Like it's like this um grandiose event has to happen, like lights flow up and it's like a hard yes, and that's the only way you'll take a leap of faith. And spirit's like, it doesn't happen that way. Because if I always came and told you what to do and told you how to do it, you wouldn't live life. You wouldn't be enjoying it. You'd just be a robot, just doing, okay, well, God told me to do it, so I'm gonna do it. It's like, no, God sends you the messages, and then it's up to you to say, okay, I'm gonna do it. Because at the end, that's the thing that spirit really wants to remind you. You still have free will. You will always have free will. Spirit is never going to come and take away your will. Never going to come and take away your will. You can give your will to spirit and say, okay, your will, not mine. 100% you can do that. And yet you can always say, okay, spirit, this is too much for me. I want my will back. And spirit will give you your will back. And so that's why I'm really seeing like with all of this, remember you still have a say, you still have your will, you still can even after today, even after this session, all of you, after watching this video, if you're watching it live or you're watching the recording, whatever it is, like after this, you can always go back and say, no, I'm not taking leaps of faith. I'm just not there yet. That's okay too. This is your journey. This is your path. Spirit is just letting you know you want a happier life. You want things that you want what you want. You got to try. You got to put yourself out there because if you don't, you'll never know. And you're always going to be there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for higher power to come in your dreams or come give you an answer, and it just doesn't work that way. Because the thing is, and it's so funny because spirit's like, this is me giving you the answer. And yet some of you are stubborn, which is fine. I get it. But but I really do see the sense of remembering that life happens for you, not to you. Take the pain, take what's happened, take the sorrow, take this and transmute it into this. Transmute it into confidence, transmute it into that love for yourself. Walk that tightrope. Walk that tightrope with confidence, knowing that your shit don't stink, knowing that you are this badass person, knowing that you are powerful, knowing that you are amazing. Take this pain. The pain that's happened to you does not define you. You are not a victim. Your pain does not define you. Spirit wants you to stop surviving and start thriving. Thrive. That is what we're supposed to be doing on this earth. It's just living and enjoying life to the fullest. We are the ones who get ourselves stuck in this pain and sorrow. So it's time to start transmuting this love, this pain into love. Uh, Spirit doesn't want you to keep waiting. Don't wait. Don't wait for the right time. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity. Don't wait for, excuse me. I'm hearing, don't wait and just do, because that's when the answers are going to come. That's when the opportunities are going to come, when you just do. And so I really do see like this is your biggest message. If you're going to take anything from tonight, life has happened for you, not to you. And Spirit wants you to have a curious mind and start looking at how life has happened for you and not to you. And then the more you start to see that, the more you start to see the blessings around you, that's when it becomes easier for you to take leaps of faith. And remember, when you take a leap of faith and it doesn't work out the way you want it to work out, it's because Spirit is guiding you for it to work out in the way that it's supposed to. Your failure does not mean you failed. It's a redirection. Every rejection is for your protection. Every redirection is for your protection. And when redirections happen, you surrender to it and just go with the flow. Um, this reminds me of a song that I was just listening to today. I'll be sure to put it in the description, and because I'm not remembering the name of the song right now. And I don't want to butcher it, but it's such a good song because in the song she repeats over and over again, trust, surrender, let go, or something like that. And it's such a beautiful a reminder of, yes, trust, surrender, let go. Just and go with the flow or something like that. It's a beautiful song, but I'll be sure to put it in the description. Oh, goodness. This was good. This was good. So we got to take more leaps of faith, and we can start small. Remember that you can also start small. Taking leaps of faith does not mean you have to go do this extravagant like leap of faith. Like you can start small. It's okay to start small. Okay. So let's go into our guided meditation, and then um we'll be good. Okay. So, for many of you who have done guided meditations with me, great. I apologize in advance for the repeating of all this information, but for many of you who haven't, I'm a very visual person. Um, if you have a great imagination, great. If you don't, that's okay. I encourage that you get a candle, so then that way you can follow along with your candle. Um, because a lot of my visualization is I use fire as a way of visualizing, so you can get a candle in front of you. I am also going to be sending you all energy to really get you to clear this for you, remove any blockages that are happening. So it's like a cleansing energy, or so yeah, if you are open for it, all you got to say is I accept. If you're not open for it, you can say no, thank you, and your spirit team will make sure you don't get it. So it's okay. Or you can just, from this point, drop off and you're good. Like it's okay. I won't take it personal. But yes, so have an open mind, open heart. Anything you feel, don't panic. It's okay. Afterwards, do drink lots of water, because I am going to be sending you a lot of energy. So drink lots of water, replenish yourself. Okay. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and take a deep breath in, all the way in. Hold, hold, release, let it all go. Drop your shoulders. Another deep breath in, all the way in. Fill your lungs. Hold, hold, and release. Let it all go, go, go. Last one, make it count. Deep breath in. Biggest breath you've taken all day. Hold on top. Hold, hold, hold. And release. Let it all go. Relax. Just breathe at your normal pace, in and out. Any thoughts, let them go. It's okay, just breathe. I want you to imagine that in front of you is the most beautiful bonfire you've ever seen. Beautiful fire just roaring in front of you. This is your inner fire, so you can make it as big, as little, whatever feels right for you. This is your fire. Just take a look and feel this fire. Immerse yourself in this bonfire. I want you to go ahead and take a big inhale and smell your fire. Smell the wood burning, smell the smoke, smell around you. What do you smell? I want you to take a moment and taste the air. Taste your fire. What does it taste like? Do you taste the smoke? Taste the air. What do you taste? I want you to take a moment and really listen. Listen to your fire. The roaring flames, the crackling wood. Listen. I want you to take a moment and feel your fire. Feel the heat. Feel your heat surrounding you. And I want you to take the last moment and see all the details of this fire. The colors, the way the flames dance, the way the wood burns. Just see all the details. Don't forget to breathe while you're all in this moment. Just breathe in and out. Any other thoughts, let them go. Now I want you to imagine that from this fire, a beautiful butterfly comes flying out from the flames, flying towards you, landing on the top of your head, leaving energy of white veil protection down your face, down your neck, down your spine, down your arms, down your hands, down your hips, down your thighs, down your legs, down your feet, down to Mother Earth, connecting you above and below. You are relaxed. It's okay. You are safe. Any thoughts, let them go. Just breathe in and out. Let the butterfly just start leaving you energy of love, of faith. You are surrounded and you are protected always. Any fears you have, any worries you have, hand them over. Just give them to your butterfly. Anything you want to think about, anything that's heavy on your heart, heavy on your mind, whatever is stopping you from taking a leap of faith, you can think about it and hand it over. Don't forget to breathe. If you catch yourself having other thoughts, it's okay. Just let them go. Just focus on giving your butterfly anything that's holding you back. I want you to think of a recent pain or something that recently happened that hurts, that left you sad, resentful, angry, bitter, whatever it is. And I really want you to focus on seeing the positivity that came from that pain. Don't overthink it. One thing. Hold on to that. And those low vibration emotions, just hand those over to your butterfly. I want you to see the lessons. I want you to repeat after me, either out loud or in your mind. Life happens for me, not to me. Life happens for me, not to me. Life happens for me, not to me. I am blessed. I am grateful. Let go and let God. I want you to take a moment and really connect with your higher power right now. If there's anything you want to pray for, ask, manifest, whatever it is, this is your time. Ask, higher power for guidance. And take a moment to just breathe in and out. Listen to the answer. Don't forget to breathe in and out. If any of you are having any heavy emotions, it's okay. You are safe. Let the emotions come. I want you all to take a deep breath in, all the way in, and release. Let it go. Another deep breath in, all the way in, and release. Let it all go. Another deep breath in, all the way in, and release. Let it all go. I want you to imagine that your butterfly is now picking up its wings, flying back to the bonfire, transmuting all your pain back into love. Just focus on your flames. I invite you all to take another deep breath in, the biggest one you've taken all day. Hold. And release. Let it all go. Start putting your bonfire away. You can come back to it another time. And slowly, you can start bringing feeling back to your legs, your arms, crack your neck, move around, open your eyes if you haven't done so already, and welcome back. Oh, that was a good one. I did feel some anxiety for some of you. So please, 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 if especially if this is like a lot for some of you new or not sure, like don't overthink it. Because I'm hearing like this is new for some. So it's okay. Just trust the process. Keep practicing it. This is why I love the recordings because you can always go back and redo the meditation as many times as you want. Just be sure to drink lots of water, okay? Um, yeah, you got this. I know taking leaps of faith is not easy. I know it's not something that is just like that we do, but like it's worth it. It really is. And the more you see that you've already been doing leaps of faith, you'll start to see, oh, okay, it's not so bad. Um, so yes, I will now close out this live streaming. This is a beautiful reminder. If this is something that you love, I always am open for Q&A afterwards, but that's only through my Zoom link. So if you are ever interested, check out my website. That's where you have all the dates of the next Comadreando coaching sessions that are going to be live. Come just check it out. Also part of for those who register for the Zoom, I also do provide with worksheets. So then that way afterwards, you can continue on this conversation and these questions with yourself, journaling, whatever, however works for you, um, the homework that I give you. And so, yeah, thank you all for being here tonight. I am sending you all so much fire and butterflies. And as always, don't forget, love your now.